Logical fallacy. Okay, so here's a graphic that you guys may have seen in the previous videos, but if you guys haven't, then here's like a quick recap of the rhetorical triangle. We have ethos, which is to appeal and develop to characters and ethics. And the second one, which is pathos, which is to appeal to emotions, mainly the audience. And finally, logos, which is to appeal to logic and reasoning. So the message. So, logical fallacies. What are logical fallacies? Logical fallacies are problems and errors in the logic of an argument. It is very common. You see them everywhere in the ads on Instagram, YouTube, and even when you're having an argument with your friends. It's all over media. Since propaganda is biased, many people will use logical fallacies to persuade others. Even though it's hard to avoid these fallacies, you should try your best to watch out for these in your and others' argument. So one of the most common fallacies is the slippery slope. This is when someone tries to draw two separate things and makes an argument that says that from point A, point B will happen, and then C, and this continues till point Z. So, for example, if you go to a skate park where there are people doing drugs, slippery slope can be used to connect these two things to say that if you skate, then you're a drug addict. You may have already noticed, but these two things are not really the same thing. Here's another example of slippery slope.
Man, I hate doing essays.
Somebody say I hate essays?
What?
Well, kid, when I was back in your age, middle school, but yeah, that's not important. Back in my days, I would do all sorts of essays, but I learned through the wisdom of life that to do nothing but completely ruin your life.
And?
Hey, what do you mean? And it's completely ruined my life because there's this I forgot her name. It's not important. So I had an English teacher. She signed me an essay, and you know what she asked me? She asked me to read a book and provide evidence. And I was like, I can't do that. I got all sorts of stuff. I already read books. I've got comic books that I was gonna read. Make me more literate. I had video games to do. I had people to talk to. I can't spend all my time on these freaking nonsensical essays that I'm never gonna use in my daily life. Like, come on. And it ruined my life, and then I wasted all my time, and I grinded until 3 a.m., and then I was sitting there, and I was miserable, and I had Cheerio oats all over my body, because I was so hungry, because I was deprived of energy working on this one essay, and then it ruined my life, and then my parents looked at me, and they're like, why do you have all this weird stuff in your room? And why do you have these comic books that you never read? And I was like, how dare you say that to me? And it ruined my life. And then my parents, well, they didn't do anything bad, they just said I should go outside more, and I was like, oh, no, I don't think you know what you're talking about. So I've been dwelling in this bush ever since.
A similar fallacy is faulty cause and effect, or also known as misuse of stats. This is when two things occur together and the fallacy is used to imply that one is caused by the other. Think correlation is not causation. Because of this logic, things can be used to misuse statistics by drawing conclusions that are not there. For example, if a vendor sells a lot of ice cream and crime decreases on that day, one could try to correlate ice cream being sold with crime. Strawman is when an argument made by an opponent is broken down and represents it again as something much simpler so that attacking the argument is much easier. Ad hominem is when someone completely ignores the argument that an opponent makes and instead attacks the opponent. Here's an example of these two. Try to notice the difference and similarities of these two different techniques.
Hey, what's that? Oh, it's the ice cream man. I really like the vanilla flavor ice cream they have.
Wait, so you don't like the chocolate? How could you?
I'm not saying that. You're putting words in my mouth.
Wait, so do you at least like the rocky road?
Well, man, not really.
Well, you're an idiot.
Hey, man, just because you don't like my ice cream flavor doesn't mean I'm an idiot.
Black or white fallacy, also similar to false dilemma, is when you're only given two choices, black or white, when gray can be an option. Another way it can be used is since there are only two options, if one of the options doesn't suit you, then your only option is to choose the other one. For example, in this graphic here for a fake makeup company, they're saying that if you don't use their product, you'll look basic and indirectly saying that you'll be unattractive. And so, if you don't want that to happen, then you will have to use their product. There's no other option of doing or using other things in order to achieve the same goal. Circular reasoning is a technique where someone restates their argument as if it proves it right. However, they're both stating the same thing. This is similar to the question of which came first, the chicken or the egg. It's a cycle of the same argument over and over.
Hi, Eric. How's it going?
I'm going good. You?
No, pretty good. Oh, did you get time to read the 12th Night?
The 12th night? No,
Yeah,
I
the
haven't.
Shakespeare book.
Uh,
Oh,
I
no?
no, I
It's been
haven't.
like 3 months, friend.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get to things, but yeah, I think I can get the book out right now.
Oh, nice.
No, get out. Why is it everywhere? Yeah, I think I found the book. Yeah, right here. Wait, is my camera on?
Why
Wait,
you been
whoa,
like
whoa.
this?
No,
Why
no,
you
no,
like
no, no, man. You don't understand. You don't understand.
Dude,
No, no, man. I
you
know
want
it
to
looks
pull a
messy.
prank on you?
No, no, man. I know it looks messy. And listen, I'm gonna take care of it, just not now. I just got other things to do in my life. You know what I mean?
Or like what?
Well, I've got more important things to do in my life. For example, finishing this book. I need to finish this book at some point, even though I couldn't find it before.
3 months. You know you could listen to audiobook, right?
Yeah, I could, but there's more other distracting things as well. Like there's like this massive hole because there's all these pizza boxes just like destroying my room.
A hole?
Yeah, I have to like fix
There could
it.
be cockroaches living. Oh, you know what?
No,
I'm gonna call you.
you
I'm gonna
know,
call your
you know what I,
parents.
you know what
I'm
I
gonna call your
see,
parents.
I see how it is. Okay,
Call your parents.
I'm officially ending the Zoom.
A related fallacy is begging the question. In circular reasoning, the premise and conclusion is more or less the same, while begging the question doesn't have the same premise and conclusion. But if you have accepted the conclusion as correct, it will be. For example, you could argue that you can't trust someone because they never lie. Sunk cost is when someone doesn't want to stop doing something or to change course just because they've already invested too much effort in it. It's when someone believes that the effort outweighs the result. So, if a college student is thinking of dropping out, a friend of that student might use sunk cost and say, "You have already put so much in this college major you despise, so just finish it." In this example, since the student has already spent the time and money in the major, dropping out would be a waste. Appeal to pity is when someone tries to win an argument using emotions in order to ignore actual facts and stats. This type of argument uses ethos as a way to invoke emotions within the audience, resulting in the audience disregarding any issues present in the argument. So in this example, with the combination of the sad and depressing image of the dog and the wording of the text, they're able to make the audience feel sad and more likely to donate to the organization. Appeal to ignorance argues that a claim is true because you can't disprove it. Vice versa, a claim is false because it's not proven true. So, in this graphic right here, it says, if they say that there are aliens out there, how come they haven't found them? There's no actual proof to their argument, but saying that since this hasn't been proven, it must be false. Finally, appeal to authority is similar to testimonial, where authority is pivotal to this fallacy. The difference is that if someone comes from an authority figure, it must be correct. The authority in question being someone who's qualified in this topic of argument or unrelated in the argument, it is important to note that the opinion of experts should not be disclaimed, more of the belief that an authority can't be wrong. So, now with the knowledge of these examples, we hope you'll be able to spot them everywhere in order to combat potential attempts to faulty persuasion. Thank you.